Howdy, everybody. Welcome on into the cargo bay. It's time for some hobby talk.
Hobby talk. Boom, 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 boom.
How you doing, BC?
I'm doing a pretty good. We've got a Cargo Bay Roadshow today.
Yeah, we gonna do a little bit of that. I might have not perfectly performed my duties, so it might be a little bit on the haphazard side. But I think it'll haphazard side. But I think it'll be good.
Hold on. Haphazard at the Cargo Bay. That's not our MO.
I mean, BC, we do have to
It's
prep for every single episode of the cargo bay. Or else you wouldn't
hours
be
and
seeing
hours.
like whatever's behind us right now.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Like, look, the production quality here. We've got a team working around the clock to put this stuff together. So, yeah, the quality is what we go for. We aim to please.
Well, most importantly, BC, and what we really need to get to up top, like and subscribe, everybody. Is we're ending our tentative relationship with Sea-Doo. Not how
I
we
can only
wanted things
describe
to
it as
go, maybe, but probably for the best, I think.
I could only describe it as not lucrative at all. After all the time and effort we put into the Sea-Doo market, to not be rewarded with at least a couple entry-level Sea-Doos at this point.
For a review on our YouTube
frankly,
channel with
massive
hundreds of subscribers.
Hundreds, yeah. So obviously, you know, we're stepping away from the Sea-Doo game, and I gotta tell you, I've had my eye on some just absolutely beautiful Yamaha WAVERUNNERS recently.
You know, when I think about there are three types of personal jet craft, water jet craft. You got the Sea-Doo, the jet ski, fine names, whatever. But you know what's cool? A wave runner. Sounds a little bit like, well, I don't know if we can say that legally. Sounds like a movie I like, you know? Like, just imagine buying a wave runner in the year 2049, for example.
You just bladed right through that idea.
Yeah, slice through like hot butter. Just like a Yamaha through the water, BC. Look at what we got here.
Oh my goodness gracious. I mean, just beautiful crafts. If you want to hit on what we've got, first and foremost, from our offerings, from our good friends, potentially, at Yamaha, I mean, we can talk about what I believe are some truly great crafts. You got a Jet Blaster. There's the Jet Blaster. That's your entry level, brand spanking new Yamaha Wave Runner.
Look, you try to buy a Sea-Doo at entry level, you know what they're going to say? We got this entry level Sea-Doo for you. It's missing some features. Go to Yamaha on a budget. You get a Jet Blaster.
It will blast all of the jets in it.
You know what we are, BZ? We're Blaster Boys. We
are Blaster Boys. You know, it really does fit with our brand as Blaster Boys with a Jet Blaster as the entry. We're almost like the entry level boys at this point because it's like, hey, you're our target audience because you don't have any money, so buy the cheapest version of whatever we sell. But what you get with Yamaha, it doesn't come across that way. Oh no, my friend, not like a Sea-Doo. Certainly not like a Sea-Doo. Those entry level Sea-Doos. Toilet paper, basically.
I won't besmirch the copycats over at Sea-Doo. Occasionally steal a good idea from Yamaha every once in a while. But I will say, for $7,999.00, you can put two people on a Jet Blaster. That's a date. That's a great night out on the water. But listen to this, BC. Let's break down that. We'll just call it $8,000. I'm not a marketing. It's
We'll round up. Yeah, we'll add the extra buck.
Yeah. I'll give Yamaha that buck. Personally, 575 pounds. That's basically a dollar per pound. A couple $100.
I mean, your price per pound ratio on that is probably unmatched on the market, honestly. So if you're talking pure price per pound, you're doing great. Now, if you want to go to the most luxury version, if you want to talk about
I just want to say we didn't even talk about wet weight, but okay, yeah, let's.
Oh, yeah, the wet weight, the dry weight, and the wet weight. Yeah,
that was only the dry weight.
Yeah, well, there's obviously there's a difference when you get a little wet.
You're probably looking more like $5 a pound, I'd bet.
Well, I mean you're saving money by buying this thing, basically.
But it's almost always dry because the water rolls right off of that.
Yeah, you're just running right on top of those waves. You know, it's barely even. It's almost like you're not touching the water at all, which is what Yamaha wants you to feel, and what you certainly will.
For this kind of running, you don't even have to buy fancy shoes, BC.
You don't.
That's part of that $8,000.
No. Now, if you're looking to spend in the neighborhood of, say, $22,000, boy, do we have a deal for you. Woo. This is the FX Limited SVHO. Yeah, baby. This is your superfractor of wave runners right here.
At $21,199.00, you can get 3 people on this, and look at that. You can see if we're looking at a Goldilocks zone here. Yeah. I'm gonna say Papa Bear's got that big butt cut. Mama Bear's got the slightly smaller butt cut, and Baby Bear's got the little bitty butt cut on the back. But you know, families come in all different shapes and sizes. There's just you got nice butt scoops.
Hey,
whatever
if you
want to put to the.
I mean, if you want to put Baby Bear in front and put Papa Bear in back, this thing it offers the space for honestly any sized bear that could possibly fit on a wave runner.
Yeah, it's a beautiful. I mean, look at the styling on that wave runner.
I mean, I'm going to go out and buy one right now, unless Yamaha, sees fit to maybe send us a couple to try. I'm just throwing it out there.
Maybe do a video for our hundreds of viewers.
Yeah, I'm just saying, we're pretty good at plugging this sort of stuff. Anyway, all this to say, we're done with Sea-Doo. We're Yamaha boys now. We can get into the official card content for the cargo bay.
And, leave a comment that shows your support for Yamaha. And help us, make this a little more official. But I do believe we probably got more wave running content to do. Some people, they're skywalkers. People like me, I'm a wave runner.
Yeah.
And that lady walks by in the desert and says, "What's your name?" I say Adam. Adam Wave.
And you chose that name.
Yeah.
You just picked it out because
that's what I believe in my heart.
It felt right, yeah.
Because so anyway, I kissed someone named Wave Runner right before they died and fell into a hole. Right. And I was like, so I'm basically a wave runner now.
So let's track it back even farther. And the person that you kissed had previously gone through just a massive, just general character transformation from being
previously they probably were responsible for genocide on multiple worlds.
I mean, billions probably, I think we'd say. But you know what?
Was at least participating in an event that destroyed multiple planets. I believe what was referred to as the Republic at the time.
Yeah.
Because I remember I remember seeing it in the sky and someone next to me watching all the planets blow up and go, "Oh no, the Republic," or something like that.
On the bride's side, though, the kiss that they shared with you kind of washed away all of that, Yeah. We kind of just, and you said, "You know what? I want to be. Yeah. I want to be. Yeah, well, obviously, yeah." And you said, "You know what? I am a wave runner.
Yeah.
I too am a wave runner now."
Because also, this person killed their mother and father, who I got to know.
Pretty well in a short period of time.
Close as I'll ever get to parents, probably. So I was both a wave runner in my heart, in that I felt like the child of these two old people, and I also felt like the potential spouse of this guy. Maybe not spouse. Do they get? Is there a marriage bond where I'm from? in my universe.
I don't know. Would
anyway.
you hyphenate the last name? I mean, just going back to the paternity thing, would you hyphenate to a solo hyphen wave runner last name, do you think?
You know, actually the technical name was Duo, in this instance.
Oh, right, sure.
Last name was Duo, but was from the Skywalker. So I mean, Wave Runner lineage. Sorry, we're about to do a Star Wars.
Oh, yeah, obviously, yeah.
But
this has none of what we've been talking about has anything to do with Star Wars previously. This is all your personal experience that you've had. Yeah.
And that's just to say I'm a Wave Runner because I feel that way in my heart. And
sure,
when I think about my life's journey over the past several years or whatever, that's really what it was about. Is me needing to belong to a bloodline and a family and a history more than to come into my own.
Right. Because that's not interesting.
No. Speaking of not interesting, BC, we should talk about our new game here, the Cargo Bay Roadshow, where eventually I hope to put things in front of you and say, how much do you think this is worth? And how much should it go for on Antiques Roadshow? But to start out, let's start with some Star Wars trading cards. That's the world we're coming from. Now, BC, this is exciting because this Forrest Whitaker card the auction was not over when I put it on this document. So I'm not even sure about that one. The others I've seen the price of, but I'll pull them up and verify.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go down the line and I'm gonna guess.
Well, here's what I'm gonna do for you. I'm gonna give you, because I don't know how much the Forrest Whitaker went for. So I'm gonna be safe and I'm gonna give you $1,000. But for every $100 you overspend, I'm gonna subtract a point. Okay. So you have $1,000 budget to allocate on these cards, and you know, obviously, if you underspend, that's minus 5 points.
Ooh.
If you overspend, it depends on how many hundreds of dollars you go over, and it might not even be possible to go over. You know, maybe that Forrest Whitaker went for $3,000. I have no idea.
So for these three cards in front of me, I've got $1,000.
Yes.
To spend on them.
How much they went for? You're predicting value, what they sold for on eBay, not what you're personally, you know.
Okay, I got you. All right. So the current eBay auction is up on Saw Gerrera.
Yes, it will be done now when I look at it.
Yeah. Okay. I would put that's an of 99.
Yes, from the most recent set,
from our most recent set. This is probably one of the higher numbered Saw Gerrera autographs that's out there. Forrest Whitaker, fairly sought after character. Auto in a green, I'd say 125.
125, all right.
That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say 125.
Okay. 125 on Saw.
The Ahsoka.
Yes.
That we're looking at here. Obviously, this is 2021 Chrome Galaxy.
Correct.
This is an atomic.
Yes.
Out of 150.
Correct.
Is this a recent sale?
Very recent.
Okay, very recent sale. Atomic out of 150. We know the Ahsoka market is strong.
And I'll say the card is visibly not a 10. It's nothing major wrong with the card, but you can tell from the listing this thing's not going to be pristine.
It's not a gem mint.
Yeah. Could be a 9. Could be by my eye, but
definitely not graded.
I think. Yeah.
The Chrome Galaxy market for 2021, I think, will be strong for a while. There's a lot of nostalgia, I think, even 3 years later, because of those beautiful borderless babies.
It's a cool looking card.
The only Ahsoka card in the 2021 set. The
The style is interesting because it's clearly portraying the, the animated show, not just because of Grievous. The style is similar, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not CG.
I'm gonna say if Saw Gerrera was 125, I would say this is $150.
Okay.
Now the last one, Balin Skull, Arabesh. That's up 25 in an orange.
Yes.
This is the one I have no clue on.
It's a 25 out of 25 too, I believe.
It's an Omega.
It's an Omega orange. Debut stamp.
I kind of think this might be the most valuable card in the lineup here. I could be. I feel like
I haven't seen some of these prices yet. So
I feel like I could be completely wrong. But for some reason, I think the Arabesh, the of 25, the Balin Skull debut. We're not going to see him in any other products like this again, which is tragic. So he's got that debut tag. Sought after character.
I mean, he might be in future products, but
yeah, but not.
It won't be. This is the definitive. I would say this is the definitive Balin Skull card forever.
This is his definitive card forever. Absolutely. I think I'd say 250. That seems super high, but I'm gonna stick to it. I'll stick to it.
Sticking to it.
Man, why not?
Well, let me give you the rundown. 125, 150, and 250, which puts you at a grand total of what is that? 525, 300, yeah, $525 for the lot. Okay. So I'm checking the Saw first, and to repeat the rules I made up on the spot are that if you go under, -5 points, and this is out of 10. And if you go over, it's -1 point for every $100 you go over.
Okay.
So you're a lot safer over than underspending on these.
Okay.
Because that's more exciting for entertainment.
Okay. All right. Sure.
All right. I'm gonna go. The screen's gonna die for a second, and we're back, BC. I have looked at the prices, and here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to offer you one final chance if you want to make any adjustments.
I want to adjust Balin Skull.
What are you going to do to Balin Skull?
I think I overshot him by a ton.
Okay.
I'm gonna bump it down. I won't go too crazy.
Okay.
But I do feel like it's the most expensive card on there. But I don't think it's that much more than the Ahsoka.
For 1 point, I will tell you if it is the most expensive card or not.
I will spend my 1 point.
Okay. It is. What if that were? No, it's not. It's not. It is not the most expensive card.
It is. Oh, okay. All right. In that case, I'm completely bumfuzzled at this point. Okay, so I think if that's
could
not
be a
the
wild
most
card too, BC. You never know.
I'm gonna say
exactly.
Then I think of those. I think Ahsoka. I'll say an even.
All right, time's running out.
For Balin. Even 100 for Balin.
100 on Balin.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, lock in your answers. Put them in the comments. Don't edit them.
Cheating.
No cheating.
Don't you cheat. Don't you dare cheat.
I will say, BC, these results are shocking to me, but also line up with almost everything I've ever said about collecting Star Wars cards.
Okay.
I was surprised.
Okay.
So, Forrest Whitaker, 48 and 99, after 18 bids, sold for $58. Look at that. And that's one thing I like about this recent product.
Wow.
You can get you're an autograph collector, now is the time, because there's a lot of stickers, and it's I don't know, it's kind of nice to see. Maybe I'm saying that because I didn't spend a lot of money collecting autographs, but it's cool that they're accessible. And I feel like the high-end autograph collectors, a lot of them don't like sticker autos anyway, you know? So it's more always has been a casual thing, but you couldn't get a Forrest Whitaker for $58 a few years ago. I could be wrong.
I don't think you could have, no. I think having this amount of them has definitely made the price of them go down, which is great for collectors.
So moving on to the Ahsoka, BC.
To just be clear, I was up on that card by like $75.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. $73.
Okay.
$72. Right. I don't know how math.
Something like that, yeah. A lot. Several. A long shot, yeah.
Which I'm gonna give you -1 point for that, BC.
Okay.
That's almost $100. I'm rounding up to $100 off and giving you -1.
I appreciate that.
All right, Ahsoka, you said $150.
I did.
After 12 bids, this Ahsoka card sold for $134. So no points off for that. That's pretty dead on. Like I said, it's not a pristine example. Clearly wasn't, but you know, those cards, those cards are going to be pricey as long as there's any value in Star Wars cards. Like,
yeah.
Unless this next Chrome set looks as good, then maybe not. You know, maybe if they just make more of this stuff, give more Ahsokas that people can get their atomics of, they'll be happy.
Maybe.
So here we are, BC, and this is a real shocker where I give myself -1 point. I put this card on a watch list, and when I wrote it down as sold at the price it sold for. This card had a starting bid of $130, and it did not sell. This card got 0 bids at $130.
Yeah.
So you said $100. Yeah. I'd be curious if it would sell for that. I think it would.
Yeah,
but maybe not.
I mean, I still think $100 for this card is crazy, but I don't think it's unreasonable. Like, it's a cool card. It's an of 25. I think it's probably. I mean, again, I don't really collect Baylan Skoll, but if I was in the Skoll market, I'd probably say $80 buy it now, and I'd smash it immediately. But yeah, I don't know. I just felt like it's just I have no concept of what the market is for basically non-auto stuff in the 2024 set. And obviously I don't have an idea for the autos anyway, because I was so far off on old Forrest Whitaker there.
Yeah, so I feel like these cards could go for all sorts of price. The 2021 Chrome is sat for long enough. These are new cards.
Yeah.
This is an ideal way to do this format. But BC, to calculate your score, as I'm making up this scoring system, I'm going to say if you were within 20% of the card value on either side, you win the card, which means that you win the Ahsoka. That's 1 point. I'm going to go ahead and give you a point for Baylan Skoll because of my error. And you lose Forrest, so you got 2 out of 3. And your bonus point situation, you did. I did use my bonus point. You did overspend by
a significant amount.
Not 100 though, almost, but 100. Not quite. But you got a -1 for the Forrest Whitaker card. That's
okay.
So, all right. So you got 1 minus point, and you won 2 of the 3. Maybe next time you'll win all 3. BC, who knows?
I like that. I feel like next time I got to do one for you. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I gotta line up some cards and do it for you. I like that.
And if you got a scoring system, put it in the comments.
The scoring system was flawless.
A lot of prep goes into this show, BC.
Hey, it's all right up here, my friend. All right up here.
I'm hitting the slide.
Hit the slide.
We're to wrap up for this whole 2024 Chrome stuff. It's all over the place, BC. We didn't even talk about the Costco super boxes. What a weird thing. My experience with the blasters, because my wife found another one in the wild, brought it home.
Yeah.
That's 3 blasters we opened. Not a single numbered card out of 3 blasters. Which is
I don't. Yeah.
As a blaster boy, it stinks to just get crumbs when they're still $24 a box. The refractors or whatever are cool, I guess, but they're hundreds and hundreds of those things. Nothing special feeling about them when you're pulling your Has Vizsla red wave refractor or whatever.
I just want to say I did open a value box. Sorry, Goose. Not a value box, a blaster box or a value box, whatever, same thing. And my hits about the same as we saw in our last video. My red waves, I got this beautiful BB-8, probably $1,000. I got a Zeb, $500, $600. Maz Kanata, $40,000 card, and this Yoda, probably $1 million. So
I mean, the Yoda is a nice card.
It is, and sort of following your path, the refractors that I got in mine, half of them matched with red waves that were in there.
That's and this is, coincidence.
That's the coolest thing I got out of my box was that Han Solo Galactic gear. So yeah, it's we can talk more about the value of those later, but the experience was, it's like I like ripping packs. The quality is nice.
We won't be getting more of them.
I saved a blaster in the cargo hold. Well, so we've got one for a future rip night. But I do not intend on purchasing more blasters, and the hobby boxes are still just stupid expensive at this point. So
you can't
get you a $58 Forrest Whitaker auto.
Yeah, really. Instead of getting this super box for about the same price, which you can get these seemingly still for like $60 or something. They look like around that price, at least, is what I was seeing yesterday. Could be wrong. But they're the same as the flagship
exclusive
boxes, except they're Costco exclusive, which is a weird partnership.
You can see the difference between the two products.
Is it okay? Oh, okay. Oh, I thought the border on that photo of the box was part of the packaging, where it's a little bit of a door and some carpet, and I was like, "Is that the Costco?" Like,
that would be so sick if it was. Super cool. That would be amazing.
But anyway,
just a well-cropped photo.
Yeah. So instead of getting those wide vision cards, which are pretty cool, you get die cuts, which we have on the next slide, and then the exclusive card design for these. I like those. They're cool variants. The super fractors of them look pretty cool.
I think this is very strange. I think if you have a Costco membership, I think it's great.
I guess
I live in the land of Walmart, so I'll never see these ever. No Costco's in this neck of the woods. You could have ordered them online. I didn't. I'd already opened my blaster box and was kind of like,
That's the dividing up of all this stuff. I think last year with Flagship, I was like, or whatever did it, Chrome, I was like, it's cool to have the blaster exclusive parallels. That could be neat. I was wrong. Overall, it makes everything more complicated. It makes the set worse to collect. It's bad all around, I think, to have. There should be the same pack odds on every pack of this stuff, and it should just be quantity, except maybe a hobby. Maybe a hobby box is okay. But I would still prefer that every single pack had the same odds, and you just bought quantities of those packs is how I would prefer things. But that's not the way it goes. But this is ridiculous, I think. the 3 different product SKUs and contents are weird. I guess last year they had Barnes and Noble exclusive parallels too.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
The different color wave refractor, or whatever, the black and the purple, and yeah. I think all of it's just complete and utter nonsense. But to me, it's just like, hey, we're gonna print this. How can we make it feel exclusive?
Yeah.
Who gives a shit? I mean, it's whatever. They're mass produced at this point. But I think the mass produced is nice, that in the sense that
they're on shelves.
They're out there, and we actually saw them on shelves.
Yeah, that was nice.
It's not the case for a very, very long time with top Star Wars trading cards. So a win in general, I think, you know.
Yeah, I guess that's true. And I'll click on over to this next slide where we have some of these super fractors of the Costco exclusive, and these are cool looking super fractors. A lot of gold on those cards.
A lot of gold. The Obi-Wan Kenobi, shout out to JB, who's usually in our comments, and a true cargo baby. Shout out for just an incredible pull.
Yeah, that's a killer card.
Like I can't even fathom the emotion that would be running through me as I opened a pack and saw that in there. I've never in my life come anywhere near that level of a pull, so congratulations. I think that's amazing.
Yeah, it's a really nice design, I think. As far as Obi-Wan super fractors go, that's a good one. It looks nice. I love that little title placard and the
and the Super Shredder Moff Gideon, super dope.
Yeah,
the Secret of the Ooze Moff Gideon, I think, is fantastic. I am confused by these die-cut heads.
They're big. They're big die-cut heads.
And you hang them on something?
Yeah, I guess like your Christmas tree. If you want some, they look exactly like when I used to get the Star Wars cereal and like cut out Obi-Wan and put them on my bulletin board. You know, like that's so.
That is the exact level of thinking that went into some Topps executive decision. What if we just made them real big, and then you could, like we cut them out, and then you could hang them on your thing?
We could fit more per page on that thing, and that'll save us some cents.
What a great deal!
I mean, they're fine. They're not. The people are. These things are selling for like over $5 on the regular. I think. Like maybe even what I was seeing them listed at was like $10 a pack because they come in a big old Boba Fett pack. But nah, cool. I'm good.
I'm okay on it. I'm okay on it. Yeah, I think
I can't wait to send one to PSA though and get a giant slab of plastic.
I want you to put this in the biggest slab you have.
That'll be a $200 grading charge.
We charge per pound of plastic on those. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of out on those. If you want to go to the next slide, we can talk about Oh, all right. We can just stay here.
I clicked it.
I mean, if you want to talk about a super box, this really was it. Now, that big pack with that big card there, I'm going to tell you right now, it's better than a floating head.
Yeah, that's for sure.
It's in my estimation.
There was a back on it. Personal. I don't know if these have any writing on the back or what the backs of them look like, but it's not a cool little graphic that someone designed with some text and a big shiny card, you know.
I mean, I've got the Cassian Andor and Kino Loy Narkina 5 wide vision card that came with this thing.
Which was also cool because it was a wide vision nod.
Yeah, which is my Obi-Wan super fractor pull, basically, at this point. Is the stupid wide vision of those two in one of my favorite episodes of television, maybe ever. So I was pretty jazzed about that. But, are we getting flagship? Does this 2024 Topps Chromazons just, are we poo-pooing it? Was it a one-year wonder, do you think?
Yeah, BC, we were kind of speculating that perhaps this takes the flagship spot if they're doing super boxes of it. And we're definitely not getting a 2024 flagship, right?
I don't think so.
And I wish I like this product more than the Chrome. I would have rather had flagship 2.
I'll tell you what I love. I know flagship is generally worthless, but I absolutely loved opening one of these giant boxes and having 24 packs to go through.
And there was stuff in there, unlike these blasters which we opened. There was stuff in there that made you feel the chase was there. You got a dumb autograph. You got some numbered cards. You know.
Yeah.
Good time.
I've actually got some right here next to me as part of my ongoing collection series. But the of $4.99 in green of all of the Andor characters, and what is I think their first like pack pulled cards that they have. It may have been finest.
They were
in the finest, I think. But it has the most Andor characters. Like there's a ton of them. Yeah, it does feel like the Andor set. So I need to jump back on the old checklist because I've got 12 of these cards in the $4.99, and I know there's to get. So. That was a fun chase.
The orange version of those.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'll ever get there.
What are those? Are those like $3.99 or $2.99? Something like that.
I think they're $1.99.
$1.99.
I could be wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, like, look at that! Look at that sick Luthen.
Yeah,
it's a great card.
Got one of those for sure.
Yeah. So it was a great set. Again, great being a relative term, but it was a very fun set. You could get blaster boxes, you could get the super box, and it was still like I don't know, like $50 maybe, something like that.
Yeah, you can still get those for
cheap. Yeah, they're a fun time.
Yeah,
but
there's nothing crazy in there, but it's a good. I would say I had a lot more fun ripping those than I had with the blasters of this 2024.
Yeah. It's basically October at this point, and we've had 2024 Chrome.
Yep.
And then that weird sapphire version of Phantom Menace that came out, but it's like we know at some point, in theory, there will be a borderless Chrome Galaxy for this year, which to me is I'm just waiting on that one. We'll probably
say November,
break the bank.
November 25 will be out. I'm saying mid-November. They announced it's coming out in like 2 weeks, or is available for pre-order now.
I'll probably break the bank for that, so we can have a box.
No bank to break, but I'll enjoy watching.
I've still got last year's unopened box in the hold too, so but I think it'll be interesting to see, just looking ahead to what we may actually get this year. Galaxy feels like the most certain of what is to come. Flagship, no mention. I think Chrome is kind of just taken that, but we'll see. There's just no news.
We'll see, BC. And let's get out of the weeds and into the comments, BC. I'll read this first one from Shanna Barger. Sorry if I said your name wrong. I'm watching this video, and as you both are talking about James Earl Jones selling his likeness for the future, I get the announcement that the man has passed away. Like we knew, but we didn't. We certainly did not. But yeah, R.I.P. to James Earl Jones. Obviously, was just kind of a fantastic actor in everything I ever saw. Vader would have been lame with pretty much anyone else doing the job. Definitely wouldn't have. I think Star Wars has like a 20% less chance of being iconic at all if you take James Earl Jones out of the equation.
Yeah. The voice is at least 20% of the first film. And yes, rest in peace definitely to an absolute legend, both on the screen and on the stage. He's got a Broadway theater named after him. He's one of the most prolific actors and well respected. I do think it's funny, and this is slightly related. Do you ever see Dave Prowse's autographs on Darth Vader stuff?
Yeah.
Dave Prowse is Darth Vader, is what he writes, which I think is true. He is in the suit. But if we're gonna say is Darth Vader, he should put, but mainly because of James Earl Jones in there. I feel like,
I mean, if I were Prowse, it would be hard not to feel slighted by
being
completely anonymous as the most iconic villain of all time, and nobody knows who you are. So I get it. I give him a lot of credit for moving around too. Cool, but I mean, James Earl Jones, maybe a more important part of the equation. I shouldn't say that.
I feel like this.
It's a weird way to sign autographs.
It's just funny, just a funny thing. We'll move on to the next comment, which is from Bounty Hunter Breaks 898. Sick name. TBH, I believe that stands for to be honest.
Usually the case, yeah.
The value boxes blasters are only good for set building to me, as well as something for kids to open that isn't a product that's going to break the bank.
Now, Bounty Hunter Breaks. No, I've watched some of your breaks. I gotta say, it hurts my feelings a little bit. You know, we're Blaster Boys.
Yeah.
Saying this is for kids. Hey, listen. Look, I don't know what kids can afford $25 boxes of cards.
I didn't get that kind of allowance back in my day. I'll tell you that right now, and I really don't have that kind of allowance now. So.
But fair enough. I mean, definitely. You're not. But to be fair, I think a lot of people would pull a 5 out of 50 Cobb Vanth character card out of a blaster box and be like, nah. Whereas for me, it's like, this is awesome. This is a great time. So I do think there used to be some value, more so in blaster boxes than that. You got something weird. And I've also pulled at least 2 sketches out of blasters. So awesome.
Yeah. You have embodied the Blaster Boy spirit and channeled it by pulling some truly great stuff out of blaster boxes. So, yeah, I mean, it is there for value. It is there for kids. It's entry level stuff, and enjoy it for what it is. I say.
Yeah. Do
you want to take this last comment?
Yeah. From Jules Burrill, love the unexpected Sea-Doo content. The 94 colors were so good back in the day. What are your thoughts on the Sea-Doo pontoons released by BRP a couple of years ago? Now, Jules, I'm going to forgive you because you're a friend of the Cargo Bay, but I can't believe you're bringing up Sea-Doo. I mean, 2 weeks ago, we were still technically pursuing a contract with Sea-Doo, but from now on, no more mention of Sea-Doo. But since you asked and you are a friend, BC, you brought up one of these Sea-Doo pontoons, and...
I would be, if I were in the mindset of still, being on the Sea-Doo pontoon, I'd say what a fantastic product this is, both in concept and design. Really just hits the nail on the head for what a watercraft can and possibly should be. However, since Sea-Doo has declined to send us even an entry-level vehicle at this point, I gotta say this is just awful. It's just the worst. A terrible product from an evil company, basically.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely don't have enough room to dance on that. Here's what I'm gonna say. The problem is, BC, regular pontoon boat, people drinking on that thing, they're having a good time.
Sure.
You're drinking on that thing, you're in way too close quarters with the other drunkies on your boat. No good.
There's no room to get up and move and groove the way that you might like to on an actual pontoon boat. I was going to say some things, but I'm pretty sure it would have fallen into the category of slander. So I will refrain from any further comments on this particular watercraft.
Look, I think if a more capable company were to make a similar something, that might give you a little bit more get up and go in the engine itself, so you felt the freedom of the air while you were on a small platform designed for picnicking and or enjoying a cove. We could be talking, but this exact product, thumbs down from me.
2 big thumbs down. Yeah,
but
huge.
Thanks for asking.
Appreciate the inquiry, Jules.
Yeah, thanks for the question. Let's keep on moving here, BC. We're into the lobby. It's time for lobby talk. You saw that Megalopolis, huh?
Not only did I see it, I saw it just today.
Oh, I can't wait.
The 1:00 matinee. It was me and probably 5 other dudes in the movie theater. I went out and I thought about this. I was like, why did I go see this? And there was sort of like a morbid curiosity about what this was going to be. I don't know if I have ever had more conflicting feelings about a movie in my entire life. Because on the one hand, it's a total piece of crap. Like, on the one hand, it is just an insane piece of gobbledygook. But on the other hand, it's not. And I don't really know how to explain that, other than, like, there are a lot of ideas in the movie. There are a lot of bad ideas in the movie. But the fact that there were things that I left the theater kind of like actually thinking about was like a complete, almost a new experience where I was like, a piece of art in some way is challenging me to think about. Whereas when I saw Beetlejuice last week, I don't remember what the fuck happened in that movie, and frankly, it's not that good. But I shoveled popcorn in my face during Beetlejuice was like, this is fine.
Yeah.
And then never thought about it ever again. And will never think about it ever again. Megalopolis, it's like sticking in my craw a little bit. It's like a popcorn kernel that's like weaseled its way back there. I'm like, what the hell was that piece of shit about? And I keep thinking about it, and I keep trying to wrap my head around it. I think Francis Ford Coppola may still be trying to wrap his head around it too, based off of the edit that was presented in theaters today. But it feels like he wrote and filmed 8 hours of a movie, and then 2 hours and 15 minutes is what he was able to get distributed on a screen, which was a fascinating theatrical experience for me today, to just go from bewildering scene to bewildering scene and just be like, at least this is interesting, you know? Like, it may be incredibly bad, but it's not uninteresting. Does that make any sense at all?
Yeah, absolutely. That's my favorite kind of movie now, I think, PC. So many things I see are the same formula, executed well or not. Even some of the thinky movies are the same shit.
Yeah.
Give me a movie that baffles me.
You would love this thing. If you want to be baffled, this movie is bewildering.
That's what I like. When I saw, Spring Breakers, I was like, this is a bewildering piece of garbage. I like this. This has made me feel more as an interested artist. And I have been fascinated watching the lead up to this, and the response has gotten, and everyone's kind of been saying that I listen to anyway, like, well, hopefully this is really weird bad and not just bad. And it seems like we reached that threshold with all of the response I've seen is like, yeah, it's not gonna be boring. It's like very strange.
Let me be clear, there are parts of this movie that are incredibly boring.
Okay. But that's part of the that's
part of the fascination. Is that like, and it's part of the edit too, where you're just like, I have no idea. And he has to have some like 9-hour cut in his pocket, because the plot is just hanging on by a thread from cut to cut, from scene to scene. And some of the scenes that he has left in the film, you're like, what? Who gives a shit about this? And it's total auteur stuff, right? It's all like expressionist auteur. I'm like, you're speaking my language, baby. But I think this might be one of the most hated movies for a mass audience that has ever been made. However, if you are at least interested at all, like at scratching the surface of something, there's a lot to be scratched on this particular film, because it is like there are scenes where you're just like, I don't know what I am unmoored from whatever the reality of this world is, and then he'll just juxtapose it with some like really fascinating scene that's got these. I mean, it's all just these like 1,000-pound ideas that he's just like lobbing at you. You're just like, what are you talking about? And he's like, I don't care, figure it out. It's like, okay, it is. See it. Treat yourself to just a mind-boggling afternoon in a movie theater. Catch a matinee, and just sit down for a real WTF of a screening.
I may not see it in theater. I will try. But I'll definitely, when it hits streaming, I'll throw that thing on. Sure.
Yeah, it's something else, which I have found I truly appreciated about it. You know,
I do love the poster of guy holding a T-square. Pretty good.
The T-square only shows up like once. It's a major disappointment. I thought he'd be wielding that thing like Durin's axe, man.
Like I used
no.
to as a child, be like, yeah, this is a weapon. Very cool.
Yeah, I'm a dwarfen lord with my T-square. Yeah, no. BC highly recommends Megalopolis, and whenever you all go see it, and you're like, "That was a giant piece of crap," just tell them I sent you.
Love it. I'll go ahead and give it the full Cargo Bay stamp of go see it. BC, I've been playing Outlaws.
Yeah.
Outlaws is mid. It is mid. I can see people playing this game and really enjoying it. It's not very polished. It feels rougher than the Jedi games, the Fallen Order games for sure. But what is there, and the reason why I decided to play it, are just really beautifully rendered environments to like hang out in and walk through. And some of I haven't experienced a lot of the different planets or whatever yet, but the stuff that's looks like it's from 70s Star Wars, but a planet you've never seen in 70s Star Wars is really good. The cassette futurism is worth exploring the game for. The combat is rough. The stealth is rough. It is. We will see if I finish it. Just because it for me, as someone who plays a lot of video games and a lot of video games that are exactly what I want them to be, this often feels like a waste of time. It's like, all right, I wish I could. There have been many moments where it's like, all right, I've got 70 quests. Let me go do this one and have an adventure right quick. And it's like, oh, I've just spent 15 minutes trying to get around the side of this mountain, and I'm no closer to my objective.
I talked to another buddy of mine who's a big Star Wars fan, a big gaming fan, and he similar takeaway from him, which is like, yeah, it's a little like meh, but the price of admission is like being in the environments, like enjoying the surroundings. And I'm definitely susceptible to being lost in that type of gaming environment. I do get very frustrated when combat controls do not behave the way that I want to. He did also specifically make note of the stealth in the game.
It's boring. You just want to blow through some of those because you're like, oh, I'm just trying to leapfrog in a clear direction to a point when there are enemies in the way. I don't like those games when they're very finely tuned. Like, I'm not a huge Metal Gear Solid. I like first person stealth. But anyway, you just like, man, can I just use a gun and mow through these people and like get and see more of what's happening? But you can't.
Well, that's the beauty of. We can pivot to another talking point that's not even on here. to Ghost of Tsushima, one of my favorite games of all time, which is getting a sequel, and I am super jazzed about that.
Same.
But what I liked about the stealth in that was, at a certain point, if you're like, you know what, I could do the stealth version, or I can just engage with hand-to-hand deadly combat with 40 dudes and just go through them if I want to.
And an incredibly polished combat
Oh,
system.
beautiful.
And that is not what it feels like in this. You can, like, something that I do like is that you've got your pistol, right? You can upgrade your pistol a little bit. But if you pick up a Stormtrooper blaster,
this is
you can't take it with you. You just, like, drop it. Which if the game mechanics worked well enough, I like that. I like that I am playing this character.
I'm dropping this thing. I've got my gun.
They got their Han Solo's got his blaster. You know, it's fine.
I don't need this thing.
But it's just not done well enough, and that blaster doesn't permit you to. I also don't like sending my little dog into combat all the time, which is like it really heavily, like, if you want to do combat, you got to be sending your pet dog off to attack people all the time. It's just not a cool. It doesn't feel good, the combat, and that I've been saying that since the first trailer, that the combat looks a little bit not enjoyable, and it's not, which is a shame because the space combat's pretty good. At least the little bit I've played of it, and the worlds are great to walk around in, but not enough freedom inside of that structure, and feels like it could get samey very quickly.
It's not on my purchase list now. It's one of those ones.
I will send you my disc. I will mail you my disc whenever.
At best, it's one that I would wait for it to go on sale, which I've decided. Just now, Cyberpunk is going to be my next. I'm going to buy an open world game that's worth exploring.
Much richer experience. I am enjoying Outlaws. It's a very nice wind down game. But yeah, I would recommend do Cyberpunk first.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the route I go.
Right.
Oh, we got another slide before I get outside, just so you know.
Hey, everybody, you know we're big skeleton crew boys here in the cargo bay. Apparently, I'm learning this now, which is crazy because I'm such a big skeleton crew fan. It starts streaming December 3rd.
Yeah, and you can see, obviously, the hype meter's going crazy here in the cargo bay. I cannot wait for this. This is going to be so good.
I can't imagine watching this. I can't imagine not turning it off. From what I've seen, it's just not for me. But we'll see.
What could possibly go wrong from a Disney Star Wars show that had massive production delay due to a writer's strike? That's based around 1980s Amblin Entertainment Steven Spielberg-esque movie set in a Star Wars world starring Jude Law. You add all that up, baby, you got a stew.
Yeah, definitely got a stew.
You got a stew going, baby. Oh, man.
Boy. Yeah, I don't know. It could be great.
Well, obviously, yeah, sure.
I'm burnt on. It's not that I've really disliked any of the recent Star Wars shows a whole lot, but I am being. I'm tired of mid, real tired of mid, and this.
Well, the good news is, Andor season 2 is what is up after Skeleton Crew. So get ready, 2025, baby.
I'm nervous about that too. We'll see how it shakes out.
Hey, if anything happens, we can just forget it ever happened. We'll always have season 1 of Andor.
Sure. Lock it away.
That's right. Put it in a safe place.
Well, that's it for this week, BC. Coming in right at an hour. How about that?
And they said we didn't have a plan.
We always do.
Look at that, baby.
Well, thanks everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting. And I'm ready at your command. I lied.
Don't
Cursor was on the wrong screen. I'm ready at your command, VC.
Here I go.
I think your microphone cut out for most of that, but
God damn
I'll just if you give me a shoot now, I'll move it in post. Yeah, I'll definitely fix that.